Hey guys, I'm Dave, and welcome back to Dave's Taste Buds. I got a bombing episode for you today. I'm gonna show you how to make the simplest, the most inexpensive, the most delicious ramen noodle soup that you've ever had. So easy. I'm gonna use broth, noodles, eggs, scallions, chicken, mushrooms. That's it. You don't have to overthink it. You can, but don't.
That's a waste of time and resources.
Follow along with me, and I'm gonna change these 5 or 6 super simple ingredients into the most delicious ramen you've ever had. And I'm gonna show you the tricks and the tips to getting the perfect half-boiled egg. So, here we go. Okay, now we know what we're making. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to get this started. First of all, chicken thighs. Now, we're doing this super simple. So I got the chicken thighs already deboned. So there's no bones in here. I marinated them a little bit last night. Soy sauce, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic. Not a lot, I just like to give it a little bit of flavor. Pan's a little hot, holy smokes. All right, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get these things cooked off. Face down, chicken thighs, they don't take long to cook. I'm gonna cook up nice and quick. So, you certainly don't need to marinate these, you really don't. The ramen, the broth is gonna have enough flavor on its own, but it's just something I like to do. Again, it's soy sauce, garlic, ginger, there's a little bit of honey. I think I put some toasted sesame oil into it too. Not a lot for the marinade, like I said, it's not even really necessary, it's just something I like to do.
Trust me, it makes it that much more special.
You notice I'm using my cast iron pan, which I always use. I use it for so many things. I got another video on how to season this pan, so don't just go to the store and get yourself a nice cast iron pan and come home, put it on the stove or put it into the oven, try to use it, things will stick to it. You gotta treat it right first, you gotta season it. So check out my video on how to season a brand new cast iron pan, how to take care of it. It's so important to do before you use it. But they're so versatile, you're really gonna wanna get yourself one, so get yourself. Our chicken is looking good and it is done. So I'm gonna pop this out here. I'm gonna let it cool down just a little bit to the point where we can actually cut it nice. Keep our pan going nice and hot, because our next step is going right in. Just gonna hit it with a little more oil. Turn that heat down a little bit. Now again, another step, it's not entirely necessary, but I like to, mushrooms that I'm gonna put on the top, I like to cook them down a little bit. I just like to give them a little bit of color, caramelize them a little bit. Give them a little bit of sweetness. I mean, it's, you know, the broth's a little salty. The soy sauce that I use to marinate the chicken is a little salty, so I want to add a little bit of sweetness to cut that saltiness, so I like to just give these a little bit of color. Get them all nice and flat. Hot stuff. These cook down a little bit. Now I'm always in an effort to save time, so I also know that I'm going to be sprinkling a little bit of scallions on top, so I'm going to go ahead and get those ready too. Just a couple of fresh scallions. Get them nice and tight so you can cut them. I'm gonna bias a little bit like that, just come straight down on them. There we go. Looking good. Over here. He's ready to go. Important in the kitchen, always important in the kitchen. Get a knife that fits good for you. Get a knife that's a good length, a good weight, something that feels good in your hand, and make sure it's sharp. Another video I have out there in the metaverse is how to sharpen your knives at home too. So check that one out. Very important. Let me get back to my mushrooms, then we're gonna cut up this chicken. All right, so I tended to my mushrooms off camera. They're looking good, they're just about there. So while we're waiting for that, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slice up this chicken. Now this is going in soup, so you want them kind of in strips. Something that's going to look nice on the top of your soup. I mean, you know it's going to taste good. So you don't want them too big, you don't want them too small. Now, slide this down. Now we got our mushrooms all cooked off. We got our chicken all cooked off. We got our scallions cut up and ready to go for the top. Just gonna add these right over here. It's part of our ingredients to add at the end. I'm gonna get my cast iron pan out of the way. I'm gonna get this boiling water over here, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the perfect half-boiled egg. So now that we got all that cooked off and set aside, next step is gonna be getting our perfect half-boiled egg. A trick to it, right off the bat, get your water to a boil. Turn that water way down. You just want it to be on a slow rolling simmer. I'm just making these ramen dishes tonight for my wife and I, so I'm not gonna go too crazy. I could probably get away with just doing 2 eggs, but I'm gonna do 4. Put them right in here. You're gonna wanna just gently get them right into that water. Get them acclimated with the heat. Tell me I cracked one. See, this is half the reason I used 3 eggs, because this one I cracked. You know what that means? It means egg salad.
I really wanted an egg salad sandwich.
It means a hard-boiled egg. I'm not going to use that one for this video, I'll tell you that. 6 minutes, that's all it takes. Hey Google, set a timer for 6 minutes.
6 minutes, starting now.
So, 6 minutes is the time you want, and you don't want a rolling boil, you don't want the eggs bouncing all over the place, you don't need that. Just get them to a little bit of a simmer.
5 minutes later.
Alright, so I know you just saw that little SpongeBob snippet that said 5 minutes later. It's actually been 6 minutes, maybe even closer to 7 minutes later. And our eggs are going to be perfect. So we're going to take those right out. Same thing that we did with getting them into the water, we're going to do the same thing taking them out. Just gonna put them really, this is just cold water, it's not ice water, it's not hot water, it's just regular cold water. Just kind of get them a little bit acclimated to the cold water, because we're just gonna cool those down a little bit. And the reason you do these halfway is because when you cut them open, you put them into your ramen, and that egg yolk gets into the broth, gives it this little creamy, you know, situation going on. Oh, it's just so good. Cool down for a second. Get this out of the way. Get this over here. Get a bowl. Look, there we go. Trick to getting eggs out of the shell. Tap them all the way around. Tap it all the way around. Find a nice place to start. Pick out a little bit. There we go. Put it down. That's how you do it. Okay, so now, half-boiled eggs, done. Chicken, done. Mushrooms, done. Last thing, noodles. Now, this is 2 packages of this faux beef broth. I know, this is simple. This is simple. This is for your everyday person who wants to experience a nice bowl of ramen without all the craziness and without all the expense. This is inexpensive, it's simple to do, it's easy, it's great. So just sit tight. Broth, boiling. Again, you could complicate it, but we're keeping it simple. We all know what this is. We're not gonna use the whole thing, but we're certainly gonna steal the noodles. Again, they have Japanese ramen noodles, you can get them, you can cook them, you can do all that. We're sticking with simplicity, and we're certainly sticking with inexpensive. I mean, these things are 33 cents at Walmart, so get yourself some. Noodles, out of the package. Water. Broth, boiling. I'm gonna drop these right in there. There is one. There is 2 tongs. Right in the broth. We're gonna let this boil for 3 minutes. It's gonna break down. Then we're just gonna build it. All right, guys, that's it. 5 simple ingredients, delicious ramen. We got everything prepped, done. Now let's build it. Piece of cake. Get your bowl. A couple of liters of your delicious broth. There we go. Hot. I can smell it from here. It smells so good. That. I like to go next with my noodles. Same thing. Again, I don't use chopsticks. Sorry, that's offensive. Put those right on the side. Like a few pieces of chicken, lay it out nice. Here we go. Chicken, hold on. Mushrooms, same thing. Little clump of mushrooms on the side. A few scallions in there. I like to put a little pile right on the side. Now, this is it. This is the moment of truth. It's all about how this egg came out. It feels a little soft inside. I got my fingers crossed. Again, 6-minute egg, super sharp knife. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm gonna take that. Whew. Spoon underneath. I'll lay that right in there. Whew. Perfect. Right over there. Clean up our hands a little bit. Clean up our area. A little bit of scallion right on top of those eggs. Oh, that's it. That's it. Look it. Look it. That's it. Delicious. And I can tell you already how good this is. I'm just gonna taste it just out of, out of respect. Again, it's kind of messy. I would take a knife, chop up those noodles a little bit, but All right, guys, promised, delivered. Inexpensive, quick, simple, 5 ingredients, ramen noodles, so good. I do have a little bit of roasted sesame oil that I do put a little bit on top. I'm not going crazy into making homemade aromatics and any of that stuff. This is just simple, guys, simple. So, now that I've taught you all that, do me a solid, like this video, certainly hit that subscribe button. I'm still looking for subscribers, so click that subscribe button, support the channel, support the algorithm, and then once you're done doing all that, go cook something.